All right, here we go, guys. Somebody's got to beat Brad Laburn here. Now, look at this on the table here. These two, look at this. Are you shitting me? These are giants right here. Look at this. Now, who's got this? Whose deer are these over here? I'm not sure, Pat, but I'm pretty sure these are contenders for deer of the year. Somebody, please, has got to beat Brad. I'm sick of the show, the Brad Laburn show. Every year, year after year, I'm sick of it.
Welcome, members, to our 2021 season, our 24th year. Next year, 25. The 2021 season started off with the first time New York made it mandatory to wear blaze orange or blaze pink during the gun season. And it gave us a half an hour before sunrise to a half an hour after sunset. Now, wearing that blaze orange wasn't so bad, was it? The turkey season, there were only 9 birds weighed in, and 3 of them being our youths with their first-time birds. First bird on the scale was Andrew Rio during the youth hunt weekend. In the end, it was a close one, with only 5/8 of an inch between first and second place in the turkey division. And the Buckmaster was also close, and I was a contender. But first, here's the 2021 stories.
My neighbor left his corn up all the way up to almost the end of November. And I had him on camera, and I've hunted a lot. I hunted hard, lost a monster. And I was like, I'm done. So I saw him on camera, and the next day I went out, and he came right to me. And I bought a brand new M1A and got it all sighted in and went to see what it does, and shot 3 times, put all 3 holes in them, dropped them right in the swamp.
So I had 3 bucks out in front of me. They were just out there milling around, doing their own thing. And then the 6-pointer was about 50 yards in front of me. And all of a sudden I seen him looking to the north of me, and he kept looking and kept looking, so I didn't dare move. And then I seen this buck come across, and I'm like, yep, you're getting it. And I raised up the gun, and I gave him one, and he went about 110 yards, and he dropped dead. A little bit of luck never hurts no one.
I had this guy on camera probably like 3 days before I shot him. Pretty sure I knew where he was coming from. Kind of just set up on him and worked in like a charm, came perfect win. And actually, I shot at him once, and pretty sure I just straight clean missed, or I hit something 'cause he jumped. He was about 30 yards, and he ran into about 15 yards. And I shot him at 15 yards, and he died about 10 minutes later. He was completely dead.
My son was sitting in the wrong stand. No, he sat in this stand opening day, morning and night. Decided he was going to go to a different spot. I said, well...
So you went there?
Yeah, and this is what happened.
Yes, it's my son's buck. He got it with archery. Yep, the day before I got mine. He has to always show me up, but no, he does okay. He was in his tree stand, and the buck come down through, and he had all he could do to stand up and turn around and get a shot at it, but then he got a shot at it and made a good shot. Then it ran down through the woods, and you could see it go so far, it probably went maybe 100 yards away. But he said, okay, I didn't quite follow it all the way, but then he came home to get me because we thought we were going to have to chase it farther. But as soon as he got me, we brought the 4-wheeler over just in case, and it only laid a few more feet than when he last seen it.
One Sunday morning, Josh wanted to go hunting behind my house, so we walked down there. I got up in my stand. I sat a total of about 10 minutes. And this guy came out, so I whacked him. He ran past me. I thought I missed, and then all of a sudden I just saw him flop over up on top of the hill.
Opening day, we were sitting in the stand probably most of the morning. My son was sitting down below me. We were talking back and forth about if he had been seeing anything, and he said that this buck came down past the far stand that we're in, and Dad was actually sitting down there. So he said, well, a decent buck just crossed the field and heading over. So I turned in the stand and was looking across the field, probably a couple 100 yards in the cornfield, and he was trotting up through the center of the cut cornfield. Got up to the hedgerow, and I said, well, it's about 200 yards, so I'll see what he does. He ended up starting to come to me, got within about 120 yards. I said, well, not too bad. I said, we'll see what he does, and then he ended up spooking, running towards the hedgerow a little bit, so I ended up taking the shot and putting him down.
Me and my brother got a new piece of land to hunt, and the landowner only allows bow only. So second day ago, we went up there, and he came through first light and shot him 30 yards, ran about 30 yards, and that was it.
I got some new property this year because I lost all my hunting property. So we put a camera up on top of the hill. First night we got a picture of this on the cell camera. Went up the next day, put the tree stand up. He came out, and that was it. It was. Well, we figured out that he must have got hit by a car because this was broken. His lower jaw was broken. So he was living good though. He's living up on the hill eating acorns. And
You can't enter roadkill.
no, right. But you got to do what you got to do.
I guess they're all the rumors.
You got to do what you got to do to get in, right? You know, you got to take what you can get. You know the deal, Dave. You know.
I actually saw him a couple days earlier chasing a doe in the field. He actually came right down underneath my stand, and I was just kind of watching. I actually have him on video, and I had more fun videoing him than anything else. And about a week later, he came out the other end of the field. It was, getting towards evening, and I said, there's that buck again. And he kept coming closer and coming closer. I said, get out of here. Yeah, he kept coming closer, and he come down and stood 30 yards of broadside, and I don't know.
I was out behind the house, took an afternoon, sat out there for about an hour. He come walking through. He wasn't chasing a doe, just walking. I waited for him to walk into the shooting lane like you're supposed to, and let it fly, and
Perfect.
there he was.
Speaking of crazy stories, how about Bob Gould with a crazy headshot and a throat kill? Unbelievable.
It was the last day before the time changed, and I think I shot him about 5:30, and he had them jump back because I had no idea. I hit him right in the side of the head, and then his arrow stuck out, and I said, are you kidding me? And he took off like a shot, ran through the bushes. I thought he headed toward my sister-in-law's, so I got right out of the tree. I figured I heard him crash, but I didn't. And so I went the wrong way naturally, going up the trail, but no blood trail, well, shooting in the head. So I finally, no use going back in the tree stand. It was starting to get dark, and I was scaring everything anyway. So I got in the truck and headed home. But I figured sometimes they walk along the edge of the road, and there he was, walking along the edge of the road, just down the road from me. And an arrow sticking out of the side of his head, yes. So, and it was just dark enough that the lights come on the truck, but it wasn't really that dark yet. And so I drove a little bit, and he walked a little bit, and he was all confused because of the arrow in his head. And so finally he stopped almost the end of the woods before he got to the trailer. And so I got out, had to open up the other door, put my release on, grab the bow, grab an arrow, walk around the truck. He still stood there looking at me, so I had to get a shot at him again in order to get a blood trail. And I did. I had to shoot between two trees, and I knew I hit him because it was a lighted arrow, and then he swirled and broke that arrow right off, just, and then he took off, so well, at least I know I got a blood trail to look for him in the morning. So then I went home, and the next morning, he was only about 35, 40 yards away. He just, that second arrow had to ricochet off a little limb or something that cut his throat. He did finally break the arrow off when he fell, plus the other arrow.
What happened to your deer, buddy? Come on, we got it here. This is for the crowd. We need it. What happened?
My dad's dog ate it.
8-year-old deer.
Ate the rack.
Ate the rack. Chewed it up. Was it a decent rack?
No, it wasn't very big. But, you know.
Okay. So he just gnawed it all up. So you didn't bring it down?
No.
You couldn't salvage any of it? An inch is an inch. You know what I'm saying?
On top, little nubs.
The nub could have get you third place.
They could have, but there was a lot of decent deer shot this year.
Yeah. So you just said piss on it? I'm sitting.
It wasn't.
All right. Well, let's not happen again, okay? Try to get your shit together. All right, buddy.
Thank you.
We don't have a youth division, but all 5 of our youth members weighed in deer and turkeys.
Okay, guys, now you know the big thing about Mohogany Ridge is the youth hunters. We have a couple behind us right now. Let's talk to the youth hunter. Now let's get your name again.
Cameron Fryer.
Okay, let's hear. Now, how do you enjoy this youth hunt?
Yeah.
Is this your first year?
No.
How many deer have you killed?
I don't know.
What's your guess?
100, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. So now that you're in the club and you have a chance of scoring this year, you got to be pumped.
Yeah.
Is this your first black deer?
My what?
Your first buck?
No.
Oh, really? Well, good for you. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. And that youth hunters, you got to love them.
I was waiting until the end of the season because at the beginning of the season I saw a super nice 9-point. So I was waiting off all season, and at the end of the season, it was like the last week of season, and I saw this guy and I decided to take him and dropped him. He didn't go 20. It was opening morning, and we just got done in the morning hunt, went across the road, and we spooked him off the roost, so they didn't come back. So about 10 o'clock, we went back home, had some lunch, and then we went to another property, and we were just walking out, and we decided to call, see if there's anything near us, and this guy gobbled right to the right of us, so we decided to sit up against the fence and see if he would come out to the edge, and he did, and I had my 20 gauge, and I took 3 shots at him, and he was right out in the woods. He didn't go far.
Me and my dad were sitting there taking selfies, and I saw a big 8-point, and I couldn't really shoot at him because I only saw his rack. It was foggy. So I decided to take this one. My dad goes, "Are you going to take any spike horns?" And I was like, "Nope." And then I saw him. I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to take it." So I shot it 5 times, and I hit it 3.
Was at the house, second to last day season, came walking across the field, figured, why not shoot him?
I had just left the house. He calls me up. He says, "Dad, I think I just shot one." I said, "What do you mean you think? Either you shot it or you didn't." He says, "Well, I pulled the trigger and it disappeared." And I said, "Well, you better go look for it." 5 minutes later, I get in its tracks. In its tracks. I go, "Of course, right?"
300 yards.
It was about a 300-yard shot too. It was a poke.
The 2021 Buckmaster came down to 5 individuals. The Barbaglia brothers were scoring away at the Wheat Sport Rod and Gun Club.
I was almost going to pass him up until he stepped out, and I was like, "Whoa, he's big." Yeah, 205. Yep, nothing really. Got him on camera one day, and first day I went out hunting, he walked by me 20 yards. It's pretty simple. First thing in the morning, I was done by 8 o'clock.
Now that is a beauty right there.
This one was opening day. Got in the tree stand, and man, it's a long walk out there.
Now this isn't on Labor's property. This is your property.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was off of Labor's property. So then I sat there for about half hour, and I seen a doe come out of the corn. She tried to run up. I had doe tag. I pulled up. I was going to take her, and she turned around and looked, and you got, that old thing where she turned around and looked, something behind her. So I did, and he come out of the corn. So he trotted across the field. I shot. He stopped, and I was waiting. I said, "Now, is he going to do the weeble wobble and fall? I'm not going to give him a chance." Boom, second shot, and he went down.
There you go. That's what you want to do with the nice ones. Well, that's a real nice deer.
Yeah.
Now, how far was he from you?
130 yards.
Nice. That's a long ways for an old guy like you to be shooting.
Yeah, it's the eyes.
Congratulations, Dave. Congrats, buddy. That's a nice deer.
My biggest ever by a long shot. Like to say I had a bunch of history with him. I only had 3 pictures, one of which when I was sitting there making dinner, and I got a picture on my cell cam. He was 100 yards behind the house, but so I saw him on Sunday night, couldn't get a shot at 50 yards. Went back Monday morning, saw him again at 50 yards during the rut, couldn't get a shot. And then I ended up moving my first time hunting with a tree saddle. So I moved my tree saddle 50 yards the opposite way, and he came through that night, grunted him in, and rest is history. So pretty awesome buck.
Archery, warm day, evening. Jumped in the stand at 4:30 in the afternoon, and I think my son was helping me drag him out at 5. So right place at the right time, and he was all by himself doing the la-la dance, I guess. He was out early, that's for sure.
My best buck to date, it was it October 25th. I was able to harvest this deer. I kind of watched him throughout the summer. he had vanished for a few weeks, and then I got pictures of him on Friday evening coming out of his bedding area, and was able to slip in Monday morning and get a shot at him 10 yards Monday morning. He went only 5 yards around the tree and piled up, and like I said, yeah, I'm super happy with him. Best buck for me to date with my archery tackle.
After it was all said and done, it was Mike Cullen, Buckmaster for the 2021 season. Congratulations, Mike. There was a total of 14 bucks weighed in during the archery season, and Mike Cullen led the way.
Dave Jedra turned in the first buck on opening day, and no one could catch him after that. Congrats, Dave. I don't believe it. I think that's the first time he's ever scored one. This year's winner of the largest rack goes to Jesse Carr. Congratulations, Jesse. The largest doe goes to a Jedra, Logan Jedra. Congratulations, Logan.
When the muzzleloader scoring was finished, it was Steve Schaefer and Chris Snyder. Surprisingly, they were two of the shortest hunts all year.
This was open day of muzzleloader. I actually got up late because I was trying to get my son to come hunting with me. And I got there, it was already light out. Got out of the truck, loaded the muzzleloader, walked maybe 50 feet from my truck across this little bridge, and this guy jumped up right in the middle of the field. I shot at him right there, and he spun around and actually ran towards my truck, so it's really not much of a story. He ran right to me.
Didn't hunt for 14 days. Dad hunted down back and said he hadn't seen a single deer. I went down there one day, and he come in chasing a doe. It's pretty simple. Yeah, he was chasing a couple does and a little small buck. Stepped out like 40 yards.
Oh yeah, that's a keeper.
Oh yeah, he was a good one.
When all said and done, Chris Snyder took the muzzleloader division with his huge 8-pointer. In this year's turkey division, there were 9 entries. In third place, it was youth hunter Logan Jedra with a score of 60, even. Second place was Chris Snyder with 61.93. And veteran turkey hunter Bob Gould Sr. took first place with a 62.625.
Usually I walk down behind my house and that's where I sit. And I got in my blind and I made a few calls with a box call. I had a couple decoys out actually. And all of a sudden he gobbled and in he come and I shot him real early. He looked like he had a nice bird, so I shot him and that was about back home for breakfast way early. I was home before 7 o'clock. It was unbelievable. but that don't happen every time. Quite often you sit there quite a while. So, and he weighed pretty good, and he had a nice beard. He had good spurs, though. That was what was nice about it. He had like 1 1/8 and 1 16 spurs.
Oh, yeah, those.
And, yep, and like 9 3/8 beard.
Okay, guys and girls and youths, it's time to give away a $100 bill for the best video. The video will be judged by your applause, so get ready. Entry 1 is from Bill Chaplin. He walks up on a bird he just shot. Not a bad looking Tom, Bill.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad one. Let's use spurs.
Entry 2 is from Steve, the movie star, Schaefer.
I won a hunt through US OC Adventures TV. It was the hunt was in Texas. We went down and shot sandhill cranes and ducks and wild hogs. The cranes were good eating, and it's really cool because you can like see them coming from miles away, and you can hear them from so far out. And when they were calling for them, it was just so loud. They just came in with big 5-foot wingspans. That was cool. The hogs was fun. That was thermal scopes with AR-15s at night. We were driving around looking for them. We found a bunch of them. Ended up shooting like 40 of them or something. Yeah, it was a good time.
Entry 3 is from Brad Layburn's scouting video from some preserve or something. Look at this white deer. This cat has bucks all around him. No wonder why he scores every year. Unbelievable. Entry 4 is from Jason Jedra in his last day Colorado hunt.
About 80 yards. Check him out. Oh my God. Oh man, he looked nice. Last evening of a 10-day hunt, we ended up driving out about 14 miles out back. Hiked in about 4 or 5 miles in, hunted all that throughout the day. Came back out to the UTV that we were using, had a late lunch, and I said, well, you know what? We found some fresh elk tracks by the UTV, couldn't believe it. And I said, well, they've been here since we've been gone, so I said, let's all just separate. Holy cow. Holy shit. Yeah, he's probably about an hour. I sat there, maybe a little longer. Started to doze off a little bit from the sun beating on me. Sat underneath the pine tree, just kind of nestled in there, and next thing you know, this beautiful bull come trotting out of the pines, running across the meadow I was watching about 100 yards away. I ended up pulling up on him and just gave him a little bleat call, and he stopped and looked my way, and yeah, I ended up putting one right through the front shoulder, and he ran about 20 yards and fell over. It always happens that way. The last evening of the last day of the hunt, and yeah, so we had our work cut out for us after that.
Okay, guys, this is where it counts. The best applause wins the $100 bill. Okay, you guys, this is where it counts. Get up and make some noise for the videos, like Trent, the Big Mouth, and Fred, and whoever else. Get your hands together and make an applause for these guys. All right, guys, the first entry, entry 1, is Bill Chaplin, and it's Not Bad Turkey Kill.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad one.
Here's entry 2, Steve, the movie star, Schaefer, and his sand crane and hog hunt. All right, here's entry 3, Brad Layburn and his scouting video. Bunch of scrub bucks, if you ask me, videoing on this preserve somewhere. All right, entry 4, guys, Jason Jedra and his Colorado elk hunt. Good videos, guys. We'll give that Chris Ben Franklin away as soon as the videos are over.
That wraps up our 2021 season, and congratulations to Buckmaster Mike Cullen. I just wanted to say how wonderful it is to see our youth hunters with their first deer and their first turkeys. Congratulations to them and their parents who put in the time and the effort to prepare for their hunts. They are the future of a great tradition. Have a safe and healthy year. We'll see you next year on our 25th season.
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down, and you're only getting mugged if you go downtown. I live back in the woods, you see, my woman and the kids and the dogs and me. I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I can plow a field all day long. I can catch catfish from dusk till dawn. Make our own whiskey and our own smoke too. Ain't too many things these old boys can't do. We grow good old tomatoes and homemade wine, and country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Because you can't starve us out and you can't make us run. Cause when them old boys raised on shotguns, we say grace and we say ma'am. If you ain't into that, we don't give a damn. We came from the West Virginia coal mines and the Rocky Mountains and the western skies. And we can skin a buck, we can run a trot line, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I had a good friend in New York City. He never called me by my name, just Hillbilly. My grandpa taught me how to live off the land, and his taught him to be a businessman. He used to send me pictures of the Broadway nights, and I'd send him some homemade wine. But he was killed by a man with a switchblade knife. For $43, my friend lost his life.
Check 1, 2. Check.
Okay, guys and girls.
We're gonna start out with your bow. Gee, that little thing you shot with a bow.
We don't have a turkey.
Now there's a couple youth hunters we have. We have to make
Bob Gould with a yeah.
They're in the muzzleloader season.
All right, here we go, guys. Okay, guys, this is where it counts. The best applause wins the applaud, I said. Yeah.
When the muzzleloader scoring was complete, it was Chris Schaefer. It was Chris Schaefer. Yeah, I keep saying Chris.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Pat, somebody please has got to beat Brad. I'm sick of the show. The Brad Laburn show. Every year after year, I'm sick of it.